Hi, it's Nancy Guberti, functional medicine specialist and nutritionist. And today I want to talk about the mental health disorder that impacts over 300 million people, and mostly women. But what's even more troubling is that it impacts 63% of teens and millennials have been impacted by depression. With everything that's going on in the world today, with the uncertainty of the pandemic, the uncertainty of if there's going to be schools open or your employers are going to be open, as well as if there's a second wave coming, depression can reap its head even stronger now. And you can feel overwhelmed and hopeless. And that's exactly what I want to talk about today. 9 tips for you to battle and get control of your depression. Because there are biomedical reasons how your body is imbalanced, and certain things that you can do and add to your daily routine to help combat your depression. So the first one is getting quality sleep. Sleep is imperative when dealing with any mental health condition. So what happens when you have depression or a loved one has depression is cortisol actually causes inflammation in the brain. And that will throw off one's sleep, physical activity, motivation, and mood. So we need to get in control of our quality of sleep. So there are a few ways you can do that. First, go to bed the same day you woke up. What does that mean? Well, if you wake up at 9, 10, or 11 a.m., you have to go to bed that same day before 11 p.m. How can you unwind to be successful with getting to bed the same day you wake up? Well, there's a few ways. First, don't eat any heavy meals 2 hours before you plan on going to sleep. The second is get off of all your electronic devices because they cause the light that can disrupt your sleep patterns. In addition, stay away from the news, get off watching TV. Instead, replace those behaviors with something more relaxing, such as taking a bath in Epsom salt, or taking a walk, or really focusing on yourself, writing in a gratitude journal. Whatever it takes, you must replace any behavior or pattern that will not help you go to sleep and have quality, restful sleep with something that will. So make your room very comfortable. If you need to spray it with essential oils of lavender or, some type of sage, whatever that takes for you. We're all individual, but find your sweet spot to make preparation going to bed a healthy one, because it is essential that you sleep and you need to reset your cortisol. If you have such problems with your cortisol, then you can look into taking a cortisol management supplement. Always check with your medical practitioners before you start any new regimen, be it exercise, food, or supplementation. And if you're on medication, you have to make sure that there are no interactions. So tip number 1 is about sleep. Tip number 2 is to eat a clean diet. Your food can make your mood good or bad. Studies show this. If you're deficient in vitamin D, magnesium, and zinc, as well as B vitamins, you can be more vulnerable for depression. This is why I highly recommend getting a functional medicine first morning urine test. It's non-invasive. It's going to show your B vitamins. It's going to show your neurotransmitters, your serotonin, your dopamine, your norepinephrine, your epinephrine. It's going to show if you could absorb fats, because omega-3 fatty acids are really helpful if you have depression. So really look at your diet. Is it balanced? Are you having a lean protein with every meal? Look towards this Sun Warrior. It's a pea protein, so it doesn't have whey. It is plant-based. There is no sugar. It's sweetened with stevia. Put a scoop of this in unsweetened coconut or unsweetened almond milk to keep your blood sugar levels even. And this can help you to really look at your diet and your beverage intake, because food is related to your mental health. So that's tip number 2. Tip number 3 would be to look at supplements. And I'm going to show you some supplements here. Again, check with your medical practitioner if you can take them. So I mentioned magnesium. Magnesium, I love magnesium citrate. This is a great supplement. If you are deficient in this, it can lead to depression. How can you tell if your hair or your skin or your nails are not at its greatest health? You may need magnesium. If you get muscle cramps, if you grind your teeth, you probably are deficient in magnesium. So that's one thing. If you don't have regular bowel movements, that's going to help, and that could also be an indication that you need magnesium, and that could be the difference that it makes. Probiotics. So probiotics, acidophilus and bifidus, that's all you need with a probiotic. Studies show if you don't have enough acidophilus and you don't have enough bifidus, you can have depression. It could also lead into weight management issues, and it definitely weakens your immune system. I mentioned the omega-3 fatty acids. You could get that by eating wild salmon. If you like sardines, those fatty fishes, always look for the low mercury ones, or supplements with an omega-3 fatty acid supplementation. Then we talked about B vitamins. Get a good B complex. Lots of times what I see on functional medicine testing is that B6 is very low or non-existent for individuals with depression. P5P is the most absorbable form of B6, so you can look into that. If you're getting a blood test done on your annual physical, always ask to include vitamin D, since vitamin D deficiency is linked to depression. And then you'll know how much vitamin D to take. Do you need 400 international units, 1,000 international units, or 5,000 international units? Testing is going to help you with that, and always work with your doctor. If you want to go deeper now, so that's the nutritional aspect. If you want to go deeper into herbals and homeopathic, you can do that. There are certain amino acids like L-theanine or GABA that helps with one's mood. And you can also get serotonin in a homeopathic form. They make sprays. There's herbals, ashwagandha, there's belladonna, and there's even American ginseng. All of these can help you. You don't need to take all of them. I'm just trying to show you that there are so many options out there. And it's always best to know what you're deficient in to know what to take. When I mentioned in step number 1 about the sleep, and that could be affected by cortisol, and cortisol causes brain inflammation, well, we could look for turmeric, organic turmeric in capsule form, or you could make a golden milk, as I call it. And what I do is get unsweetened almond milk or unsweetened coconut milk, warm it up, put a half of a teaspoon of this turmeric, because it's been tested not to have heavy metals in it. And I like to sweeten it. And what I sweeten it with is whole leaf stevia, which does not raise your blood sugar levels, and it doesn't feed into candida, and it's healthy for you. It's a natural herb. So these are some supplementations that you can look into. If you like teas, you can go and check out some yogi medicinal tea, and they have stress relief and other teas that may help assist you. And think about it, if you have the tea or you have your golden milk as your evening ritual, you can get ready for that quality sleep. So quality sleep, eating healthy, taking some supplementation, and then we want to practice replacing any negative self-sabotage thoughts with positive ones. How can you do that? Well, first you have to be mindful and you have to be cognizant, and that might be done through journaling. Another way is the minute that negative thought comes in, you can look at EFT, Emotional Freedom Technique, where you're taught how to replace the negative with a positive thought. Because I can tell you all the nutritional aspects, we could run a functional medicine test, but then you need to implement, and a lot of your past or current or fears of the future may creep in. So you have to also learn strategies to get over these negative thoughts, and that's where you could look at EFT, Emotional Freedom Technique. Then moving on, let's go into tip number 5. Tip number 5 is about just doing it. So, stopping procrastination. Because when one is depressed, it's very hard to wake up in the morning. It's very hard to get going about anything. And inactivity fuels depression. So you need to just commit to doing an activity in the morning to get yourself going. No ifs, ands, or buts. More like an I can attitude. And if it takes you waking up in the morning and looking in the mirror and finding 3 empowering, positive words about you and repeating them to yourself and say, I can be strong, I can be happy, I can be empowered. Whatever those 3 words are for you, pick them and then get up and start your day. So you need to really push procrastination aside and just think of that Nike logo, just do it. The next step is all about keeping your home environment clean. So when one is depressed and one can't get going in the morning, personal hygiene may take a hit. Keeping the kitchen clean, staying on top of the laundry. But think about it, your environment is going to impact the way you feel. So commit to keeping on top of your everyday chores that you need to do to be free of clutter. The 7th tip is to set goals. I'm a big fan of goal setting because when you set goals, you have a target and you need a target, right? So set life goals, set health goals. It could be as easy as I'm gonna drink an extra bottle of water today. I'm gonna get up and stand in my warrior pose. I'm going to smile at someone today. I'm gonna call a loved one or a friend. I'm going to socialize, be it through Zoom or a phone. I'm going to go take a walk in nature. It could be so simple. You set 3 goals for your day and any combination of health, life, but these goals are meant for you to achieve. You keep it simple and you'll feel better about yourself, and each day you add on and you feel great. By the end of the week, if you've achieved 3 goals, by the end of the week, you've achieved 3 times 7, 21 goals. That's great. So you really have to have that target to go after to really deal with this depression. The 8th tip is basically a culmination of all these other tips. It's to create your personalized wellness toolkit. What's in your toolkit? What do you go to when you feel depressed? Do you go for comfort food? Do you go for alcohol? Do you go to vape? Do you go for what? Self-sabotage, hurting yourself, inflicting pain, sleep? Or do you have enough tools in your toolkit to pick from and turn it around? So create your personalized wellness toolkit. And the 9th tip is to get into a support group. Make sure you have a mentor. Make sure you're working with a practitioner. Don't go it alone. When you need support, that's when you call on them. Maybe you need daily support. Maybe until this becomes a pattern and you start to feel positive, you need more support than other days. And by your actions, you can also encourage and inspire others around you because you are taking charge of your health, your total wellness of mind and body. That's what I always talk about. When we want to be healthy, it's just not on the outside, it's on the inside. And the inside goes to the outside, and the outside goes to the inside. We're all one. So find your support group. I encourage you to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss an episode. Listen to the Total Wellness Empowerment podcast. And if you're ready to join an online membership, check out my Total Wellness Empowerment membership, where there's a journal going on a daily basis in a Google Doc, where there's accountability and mentorship, as well as monthly live presentations and monthly calls. Whatever works for you, just remember that you're here for a reason. You have goals, you have aspirations that you want to achieve. You may not feel like it now, but you set some goals somewhere in your life. Dig that out, go deep, become mindful, find out what's triggering this depression. Get some functional medicine testing to learn the biomedical imbalances. Look at your sleep, your food, what you drink, who you surround yourself with, and review these 9 tips and implement one at a time. We don't want you to get overwhelmed. We want you to feel happy. Remember, your health is worth it because you are worth it. Bye now.